Welcome to Passion for the Pastime, where baseball lives 24/7, 365. Catch conversations with beat writers, broadcasters, current and former players of all levels. Now here's your host,
Walter Ica Balsetta. Whoops, I fumbled. I got to get out of here.
Walter Ica Balsetta.
Yo, what is up, everybody? This is a shocker. This is a shocker of a podcast. Welcome to Passion for the Pastime. This is a breaking news podcast here. So if you guys are joining me on YouTube and on Twitter, I think I'm streaming actually now on Facebook. So if you're joining me on Facebook, welcome in. Mike Val, what is up, my guy? What is up? I hope you guys can hear me. Doing this on my phone right now at the moment. Thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Okay. But wow. Welcome to Passion for the Pastime. What I did not expect this. I'm literally in shock right now with the breaking news that just went down. If you guys are just joining the show and just seeing everything that just went down in the last couple of minutes, breaking news, Jon Heyman. And again, Jon Heyman, he likes to be the Grinch, since we're in the holiday spirit. He loves to be the Grinch of the San Francisco Giants for Giants fans, especially around the holidays. What the hell, man? It always has to be Jon Heyman that gives us the worst news that you could possibly get. I guess the only thing that makes this a little bit more digestible, not really more digestible, but I'm just glad that he didn't end up at the Dodgers. If you guys don't know, and you can kind of see on the scroll, I believe, try to put that up there just to let everybody know if you're tuning in. Welcome in to the podcast, Passion for the Pastime. Again, subscribe, share, let everyone know what we are talking about tonight, which is the breaking news: 6-year deal, $210 freaking million. That's what it got done. It was less than Max Fried. And Corbin Burnes is not a member of your San Francisco Giants. Let me know how you're feeling in the YouTube chat. Mike, what's up, man? I know I really want to hear from you. EB, what's up, man? Definitely need to find out how you guys are feeling and what the gauge is on this move. I mean, it is huge. It is huge. I'm not home where I'd go full on in depth, and we'll probably do a podcast tomorrow. But Corbin Burnes going to the Arizona Diamondbacks for 6 years, $210 million. I am in shock. And now you start looking at the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they've been a team. I mean, they are 2 years removed from making it to the World Series and being that wild card team. They had 85 wins. And that's where, other teams like the Giants and like anyone else, you get into the playoffs and you have a chance, right? And that's what the Diamondbacks did that year. They got hot at the right moment. Baseball might be the sport that you can do that in most frequently, I guess. You don't have to be necessarily a powerhouse, unlike last year, when we had the Yankees and the Dodgers, where that was the predicted World Series entering the year. Doesn't usually happen that way, but yeah, the Diamondbacks get much stronger in this division, and I mean, damn, I don't know what the ramifications are for just the NL West. I mean, you look at what the Diamondbacks have; they have a great offense down there with Corbin Carroll. I know they don't have Christian Walker anymore, but who did they win and they went and got? Didn't they get Josh Naylor? Didn't he end up with the Diamondbacks? I'm drawing a blank right now. Who ended up going to the Diamondbacks with the carousel of moves for first baseman? I want to say it was Josh Naylor that ended up going to the Diamondbacks last weekend. So you look at the offense and just how all of that transpired, and now you're looking at the pitching, the rotation. You have a rotation of Corbin Burnes mixed in there with Zach Gallen, mixed in there with Brandon Pfaadt, mixed in there with Eduardo Rodriguez. I mean, oh my God, man. How in the hell did this happen? Why are we at this point? Well, I'll tell you this. You know, you asked me a couple days ago. I was very confident that this was going down. I was very confident this was going to happen for the Giants. I thought that Corbin Burnes was for sure coming to the NL West, but I thought it was up north. I thought it was in Northern California. I thought it was with the San Francisco Giants, but no, he goes to Arizona. And I did get a little nervous, but Arizona wasn't on my radar. Because, I mean, everyone talked about he had a off-season home in Scottsdale, right? Or I believe it was I don't remember where it was. I want to say it was in Scottsdale, but it's definitely in Arizona. Maybe it's in Phoenix. I'm not entirely sure where his off-season home was, but it was in the state of Arizona. And so then you heard that blurb, and I was just like, all right, yeah, Merrill Kelly too, Mike, 100%. So I was just like, all right, that's an interesting note for everyone to throw out there. But then everyone had the tie to the Giants in that, okay, the Giants have their spring training in Scottsdale. It makes perfect sense that he would go there for this off-season home. He can get some training in before everyone, he doesn't have to be far removed from his house. But man, the Diamondbacks just got so much better, man. And the Padres are going to have to respond in some type of way. I don't know there's been a lot of conversation of Dylan Cease getting traded. I don't know if that necessarily happens anymore, but can they go out and get a bat? I mean, can they go out and spend some more money to kind of counter this move? I mean, everyone's trying to catch the Dodgers, but now the Padres might be trying to catch the Diamondbacks, man. This is incredible news for it to happen at 10:28 on a Friday going into the final weekend of the year. This is definitely a shock to me. So everybody, let me know what you're thinking here in the YouTube chat. Welcome in to Passion for the Pastime. It's definitely breaking news. If you haven't heard, 6-year deal, Corbin Burnes to the Arizona Diamondbacks. He will not be a San Francisco Giant. And it's incredible. I mean, the reason why this didn't happen, and I alluded to this, I don't remember if it was on KMBR with Derek Papa on Dirty Work on Christmas Eve, or if it was on this podcast, but I have said, wherever I have a microphone in front of me, wherever anyone is willing to listen to me, I have said in the past that that Corbin Burnes may have, the reason why there was a slip up, or the reason why there was a delay, is that it was rumored that there was a opt-out after the second year of his deal, that he wanted to have the opt-out clause. And to which case I read that as, okay, this is the new regime. The opt-outs after 2 years, that's what we used to do. That's what the Giants regime used to do under Farhan Zaidi. That is not how things are going to operate under Buster Posey. And is it a misstep? Is it a miscalculation by Buster Posey not going in and giving that contract a 6-year deal, but including the opt-out, and you can have them? 210, that feels like much lower. And it's been reported that the Giants and the Blue Jays both went above that dollar amount, but you have to factor in the state taxes. You have to factor in where, Walter, please don't drive your car into the river. I might, Derek. I might. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to get past this night. It is just incredible to see that this happened. I did not see. This is all just fresh reaction from me. I am as shocked as anybody. And we'll definitely get into it tomorrow. I'll probably do it at noon tomorrow. We'll have to see what time I can pop on here on a Saturday. But breaking news, if you haven't heard, Corbin Burnes is not going to be a member of the San Francisco Giants. He is a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks, where now they have a stacked rotation. And God, they have to be, if it's not, I think that the Diamondbacks have now leapfrogged the San Diego Padres. And I think that they're not surpassing the Dodgers, but they're getting damn close, man. With that starting rotation, they're getting damn close. And now you start to see
how the NL West is going to be formed with that rotation of the Diamondbacks, you almost assume that the Dodgers are going to do everything in their power to get Roki Sasaki. That is the fallout to this. I don't know how much of it really matters for Roki Sasaki in the decision. I think the decision was made for Roki Sasaki when he decided that he was going to post months ago. I think the decision was already made, but if it wasn't made, I think that this might lock it in. The Dodgers are going to throw any type of incentive towards Roki Sasaki that they can, and try to extend the gap, because I wouldn't say that the Diamondbacks have closed the gap because of this move, but they've definitely inched closer to the Dodgers. And what does that mean for the Giants? I mean, you start looking at this NL West. The West is just so much better than the Giants are right now, and you figured that the success of the Giants would be focused on, and a big part of it would be from Corbin Burnes, right? Would be from Corbin Burnes coming in, and that gave you so much flexibility. That gave you so much flexibility because you'd have a surplus of pitching, and you can use that to go get a bat. Now, I think the Giants are in a realm that maybe they could still bring in Sonny Gray. Maybe that's something that they're going to end up doing with Lamont Wade Jr. and they flip him over to the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll have to see what happens there. There's going to be a trickle effect. There's going to be a domino effect from the Giants missing out on Corbin Burnes. Again, 6 years, $210 million with a second year opt out after 2026. And he will most likely opt out of that. But yeah, if that was the deal breaker, and I don't know if Jim Kuminar is listening. I know I just got a text message from him. So if he's listening, I just saw your text, bro. Yeah, if that was a deal breaker, which I think it was, because again, I got sidetracked with just thinking about the ramifications of the Giants. I think that this was a deal breaker for Buster Posey, and I think I'm okay with it. Because Buster Posey is trying to build a certain type of clubhouse. He is trying to build a certain type of Giants team. This new era, and the opt-outs and all that kind of stuff, that was a Farhan staple. That was we'll give you an opt-out because we desperately need you to come here, but you can leave at your own free will after 2 seasons, but we're okay with the 2. That's fine. Buster Posey wants guys, and I've said it here, I've said it on the New Year's Day, or I'm sorry, the Christmas Eve show with Derek. I've said it multiple times on this podcast. Buster Posey wants guys that are going to be in San Francisco for a long haul, that there's no wishy-washy, there's no freaking opt-outs. He wants guys that want to be here, that want to wear that Giants across the chest. That is what Buster Posey wants, and that's what I want. I think that if that was the deal breaker, the 2-year opt-out, deuces. I'm good with Corbin Burnes not being here, because again, Buster Posey is trying to build that culture. He is trying to build the San Francisco Giants to guys that want to be in San Francisco, that want to represent this city, that want to represent this great franchise of what it is. So I'm okay with that. I want to know how everyone else is feeling about it right now. If you're on the YouTube chat, welcome to Passion for the Pastime. The breaking news. If you haven't heard my screaming and my ranting, it is Corbin Burnes ending up with the Arizona Diamondbacks. 6 years, $210 million to the Diamondbacks, and that rotation is just stacked. And I wouldn't be at all shocked if they went out and traded someone in their rotation and got an additional bat. I'm not saying that they need it. I'm just saying they have so much pitching depth in that rotation 1 through 5. Today's baseball, you don't need 5 starters. That is not today's baseball, unfortunately. Now, if you want to go back to the old school and have 5, you'll be pretty damn set. Pretty good. I mean, you got Merrill Kelly, you got Eduardo Rodriguez, you got Brandon Pfaadt,
Zach Gallen, and now Corbin Burnes. That is just, whoa, that is brutal. That is a tough pill to swallow. You expect it from the Dodgers, kind of expected it from the Padres. Did you really expect it from the Diamondbacks? Did you really expect that they were going to be players? And did you expect him to sign less? Did you expect him to sign less than Max Fried? I think that's the biggest shock, is that I thought that it was going to be 8 years. Obviously, he really coveted that opt-out clause, and the Giants weren't having any of that. So, but I thought that it was going to be 8 years. I thought that it was going to be 240. That's what the talking heads were saying, and the beat reporters, the John Morosi's, the Heymans, the Feinsons. I mean, everybody that is anyone in the game of baseball. Jeff Passan, everybody was saying that that's what the deal was going to be. So it's just a little bit shocking that that's not how it went down in this case. So now what do the Giants do? What do the Giants do? They can't really, again, if you're looking at trading for a pitcher, it's someone that you're probably going to eat contract on, and I don't see it being anyone other than Sonny Gray. That's how I see it happening. Because he signed that 3-year deal, $75 million contract last season with the Cardinals. So you're going to eat most of that if you are the Giants, and you give away Lamont Wade Jr. I don't know who else the Cardinals have in their system that can go and play first base. I don't know of anyone that they have on the 40-man on their current roster that can play first base because Paul Goldschmidt is no longer there. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all that develops. But what is the pivot now? Because earlier today, if you were on the show with me, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for coming by again for the breaking news show here on Passion for the Pastime. Again, my name is Walter Cabraceta. You can follow me. I put it down as Walt, but on Twitter, it's Twitter and X, it's at Walleezy. That's that's WALLEEZZY. If you want to give me a follow, and make sure you subscribe and follow the podcast on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast, whether that's Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you get them, that's where we're at. That's where we live. You'll get the audio version. But if you want to see me, break news in a car in a parking lot, then that's what you do here. And subscribe and set your notifications so you don't miss out on any of the news. But my biggest thing, what we talked about earlier today, is what the pivot will be for the Giants moving into now the post Corbin Burnes signing. And there has to be a combination of, I think that this pitching staff is pretty well set. I think that you are going to see the priority has now shifted. They're going to try to compete, but the priority has shifted to the development and the commitment to these young players. I would be shocked if any of the young guys were moved off of this roster at this point. Even if they brought in Sonny Gray. Obviously, if Sonny Gray was traded for and you have Lamont Wade Jr., and maybe you have to kick them another starter, is that something that you'd want to do? Like, would you do a Mason Black and a Lamont Wade Jr. for Sonny Gray for 2 years at 35 years old? I don't know. I mean, he does make your rotation a lot better than what it currently is because you know what you get with Sonny Gray. Or would you rather stick with the young guys? Would you rather stick with Hayden Birdsong, Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, Robbie Ray, and then you have Logan Webb? So it's going to be really interesting to see what that pivot is and how, if at all, they address the starting rotation, because we have heard Buster Posey and Zach Manassian. We've heard them say that they like their starting rotation, that they like their young pitchers, and they think that Kyle Harrison and Hayden Birdsong will take big strides in their season to come in 2025. So, is that just lip service, or are they really confident in their young guys? And is that why they didn't pull the trigger on Corbin Burnes? Because after a 2-year opt-out, I think that's where the hiccup was. That's where the disconnect was. And again, let me know how you feel about this in the YouTube chat. Mike, let me know. EB, if you're in here, everybody that's in here, let me know what you're feeling with this Corbin Burnes signing, and if you were okay with Corbin Burnes, or with the Giants and Corbin Burnes not coming to agreement with quite possibly the deal breaker of the 2-year opt-out. I'm okay with it, and we'll definitely dive into it a little bit more tomorrow. But the pivot now is all eyes are on Buster Posey, because, man, this offseason really started with a bang, and now it's starting to feel like a big swing and miss. They didn't get the prized possession of Corbin Burnes, and that one hurts a little bit because of where he ends up. And because of the looming decision of Roki Sasaki, you know he's going to be a Dodger. You know that's going to hurt a little bit. So what is the pivot for the Giants moving into 2025? What is the pivot now? Because we were talking about it earlier, is that if they don't get Corbin Burnes, do you address more needs on the offense? Is that where they are going to go? Are you going to get Anthony Santander? I don't know what the contract would look like. Are you okay with doing an opt-out with him versus, and I don't know if he'd want to opt out after 2 years, but maybe he does. I don't know if he comes in and tears it up. It wouldn't be a likely scenario, but maybe you do a 2-year opt-out with a position player rather than the starting pitcher with Corbin Burnes. But again, Buster Posey wants guys that want to be here. And after seeing that the Giants did offer more money, that the Giants, that the Diamondbacks gave Corbin Burnes the 2-year opt-out, it was very apparent. It was very apparent that the reason this didn't happen was because Buster Posey looked at this as saying, you want to opt out, you don't want to be a San Francisco Giant. And again, I am okay with that, because I think that we have seen time and time and time again over the last regime with Farhan Zaidi that we were just bringing guys in and spending blindly and bringing guys in here just to have names associated with the team, just to have that brand recognition, right? And that's how you sell tickets. I understand that aspect of it. But if you bring in a guy, and someone sent me a tweet, and I don't know, I think it was a tweet. Actually, might have been someone that was listening to me and Derek, and they chimed in and said that they pitched with him at St. Mary's, and Corbin Burnes was a me guy, not a team guy. So you factor that in, and you look at the opt-outs that he wanted. Again, I'm just going back to Buster Posey wants guys that want to be here, and Corbin Burnes wanted the opt-out. It was good for him, and he probably would have opted out because his numbers would have been incredible in Oracle Park. I have no question about that. So really interesting to see that he ends up with the Diamondbacks, and now the Giants are kind of back to square one. What is their pivot going to be? Is it going to be someone on the offense? That's something that we definitely need to see. But again, if you guys are just tuning in for the first time tonight, it is late. It is 11 o'clock. Corbin Burnes signs a 6-year deal, $210 million, the lower amount of the Giants and the Blue Jays offer. He ends up in Arizona, where he has an offseason home with the Arizona Diamondbacks, with a second with an opt-out after his second year in 2026. So let me go ahead and look through the YouTube chat. Right now, Mike Val checking in. Yeah, Merrill Kelly too. Yeah, man, it's going to be. I really see the Diamondbacks making a move and improving their offense with their surplus pitching. There's no reason to go into the season. And what type of move is that? I'd have to really look at it and look at what they need offensively It could be a first baseman. Shit, do they go and trade some of their prospects and pitching to the Blue Jays and give Vlad Jr.? We've been talking about, man, dude, fucking the Diamondbacks will end up having everybody that I wanted the Giants to have if they go get Corbin Burnes and Vlad Jr. that would piss me off so damn much. I hope that doesn't happen. Yeah, Derek, I already checked in with you. It puts us back in the standings. Not sure where exactly. This is Mike Val. Not exactly where off the top of my head, but it puts us behind them. Yeah, it does. I think that the Giants currently right now, as their roster is constructed, and this is, you got so many questions in the offense. You have so many questions with their rotation. I think this puts you firmly in fourth place. I think the only team that they are better than is the Colorado Rockies, and that's not saying much. Let's see here. Could well have been right. I applauded Busher for not budging on the opt-out in the contract. If there is one, all good. Yeah, I applaud him also, Mike. I do applaud Busher for kind of sticking to his guns and not going out there and bringing in someone that clearly didn't want to be here. He didn't want to be here. If he wanted to have that opt out after the second year, I don't think that he wanted to be a Giant, and he used the Giants to get a higher payday, and he took less money. But in the long run, it was probably, depending on how much the Giants did offer, and I'm sure that we'll have the reports coming in a. I think you guys can still see me. I'm just looking at my phone. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't have anything breaking as far as what the contract was for the Giants and Corbin Burnes. But it was reported that the Giants offered more money than Corbin Burnes would ultimately end up getting, full contract wise anyway, from the Diamondbacks. But again, you got to factor in the state taxes and all that kind of stuff. So we'll dive into it. I'll take a look at everything and what people are saying about it overnight and into the morning hours. We'll be back here tomorrow. We'll break down the Corbin Burnes news and we'll talk about it and what the Giants could potentially do, if anything, to improve their roster, or is their spending done? I mean, I don't want to diminish and I don't want to minimize the massive signing of bringing in someone that can hit 25 bombs for your team as a San Francisco Giant. And he's going to be here where there was a gaping hole after Brandon Crawford left. I don't want to minimize that move at all. 7 years, $182 million for Willy Adames. Buster Posey got that done. That was the first thing. That was the biggest need for this Giants team. And he answered and he delivered. But that can't be the only move this offseason. They have to address other needs. And I just don't know where it's going to be. Like, are you okay with bringing in a Justin Verlander? Are you okay with bringing in a Max Scherzer? Are you okay with potentially parting ways with Lamont Wade Jr. and bringing in Sonny Gray? I mean, I do think that is very much on the table. And I think that that's possible. Now, I'm not going to give my confidence score on that. I'm not going to give my confidence on. I have zero confidence anymore in what can happen with the San Francisco Giants. But we'll have to watch and see what happens, if anything, as they react to this. I mean, the Giants maybe had to anticipate that this was going to happen, and I would hope that the Giants could do everything in their power to get Roki Sasaki. And if that happens, offseason saved a little bit, because Roki Sasaki, I mean, he's 25 years old or 23 years old. He's younger. He has electric stuff. And then you keep him away from the Dodgers. But I think that this will ramp up conversations and ramp up whatever type of incentives and whatever type of perks that you can give. The Dodgers will go above and beyond. I mean, and you start seeing, we didn't even talk about Teoscar Hernandez, signing with the Diamondbacks, 3 years. What I think was $66 million with deferred money. I think it was 23 million deferred, and then he had a 23 million signing bonus. I don't fucking know. The Dodgers can kiss my ass. So can the Diamondbacks. But we'll get into it tomorrow. 30 minutes. I'll let you guys go here because it's late and everybody got to get to sleep. But again, Corbin Burnes is not coming to San Francisco. He is not coming to 3rd and King. He is not coming to 24 Willie Mays Plaza. He is not coming to San Francisco. He is going to the desert where, God, Diamondbacks are a good-looking team. They are a good-looking team, and we'll break it all down and what the Giants need to do to not close the gap, but keep the gap from getting bigger than it is. So you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this this breaking news. Again, I will always do breaking news whenever it happens, especially in the offseason. Breaking news, again, Corbin Burnes ends up with the Arizona Diamondbacks, not coming to San Francisco. What do the Giants do? We'll break it down tomorrow on Passion for the Pastime, a breaking news edition, breaking news show on a Saturday, the final weekend of the year. Had to have fireworks. Corbin Burnes to the Diamondbacks. We'll talk about it tomorrow at noon. I'll see you guys then. Until then, be safe, sleep well, and hopefully John Haben doesn't tweet out any other stupid shit and we can sleep good tonight. So you guys have a good one. Be safe, and I'll talk to you tomorrow at noon. Remember to like, subscribe, set your notifications. We'll be back at it tomorrow with a special edition. Corbin Burnes, what the hell happened? Where did it go wrong? And what do the Giants do next? We'll do that tomorrow, 12 noon. Passion for the Pastime. I'm Walter Carlos signing off. You guys have a good one. Good night. Talk to you tomorrow.